At this time, I would like to say something for prayers. Nowadays, the state of affairs and circumstances of the world with relation to that. For the last short amount of time, Hamas and Israel are fighting one another, as a result of which, now, citizens and civilians on both sides, women, children, and elders, without distinction, are being killed or have been killed. Islam, in times of war as well, men, women, that is women, children, with the correction, it is women, children, or such people are not allowed to be killed. And this is why the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, has very emphatically and strictly guided regarding this. The world is saying this. And this is the reality. That in this war, the Hamas made the first step. And the citizens of Israel were indiscriminately killed. Irrespective of the fact that the Israeli army, how many innocent Palestinians they killed previously, the Muslims nonetheless should act according to the teachings of Islam. The Israeli army, they may have acted in a certain way, and there are ways to rectify that. If there is a valid battle to fight, then you can fight with soldiers. But women, children, and innocent people should not be fought or killed. In this respect, the wrong actions taken by Hamas are wrong. It will cause more harm than benefit. The war should have remained with Hamas or limited to Hamas. This should have been the reaction. However, now, the government of Israel, the action they are taking, that is also very dangerous. And it seems like this matter will not stop here. How many countless innocent women and children will be killed as a result, we cannot even imagine. The government of Israel, they announced that we will absolutely eliminate Gaza. And they have already thrown thousands and dropped thousands of bombs and already flattened many parts of it. Now a new shape that has come about is that over 1 million people should leave Gaza or move from parts of Gaza. Or some people have already started to move. A very faint voice, a very almost dead voice, but at least a little bit of voice from the United Nations has been made that this is usurping the rights of humans, and this is wrong. A tiny faint voice has come from the United Nations saying it will cause a lot of difficulty. And they say that Israel should think about their actions. Despite the fact that they should have said strictly and sternly, they are just making a request of Israel. Anyhow, it is not the fault of any innocent people who are not fighting. If the world, to Israeli women and children and citizens, thinks they are innocent, then the Palestinians are also innocent. These people of the book, their own teachings say that killing in this manner is not allowed. They say to the Muslims that they are wrong, so they should also look into their own conscience. However, there is a need for abundant prayer. The ambassador of Palestine here gave an interview on the television on the BBC. And in an answer to the interviewer, he stated that Hamas is a militant group. It is not the government. And the government of Palestine are not linked to them. However, he also raised the question, And this is correct, that if true justice is established or was established, then none of this would have occurred. If the major powers did not have double standards, then this kind of disorder, these kind of wars would not have even initiated or taken place. Therefore, these double standards must be eliminated, and then when it happens, these wars will by themselves be eliminated. These things I say with relation to the teachings of Islam for a long period of time. On the surface, people say, yes, yes, it is true, but practically speaking, they do not want to demonstrate that in their actions. Now, all major powers or Western powers, they have placed justice to one side and are now uniting to place cruelties and harshness and injustice upon Palestinians. And they are speaking about sending soldiers and armies to support. They are showing pictures of the victims, that this is what it has occurred. Wrong reports are being shown in the media. One day it is said in the news that this is a state of Israeli women, and this is their condition. The next day we learn that they were not Israelis, they were actually Palestinians. However, the media do not speak about this, and they do not say any words of sympathy for them. They act upon whatever route they want to choose. Whoever has the power, they run it in the way they wish. People have to submit to where the power is. If we analyze, then it seems that the major powers are ready to escalate the war and fan the flames of it rather than throw water upon the fire. They do not want to end the fire. After the First World War, for the ending of war, the major powers formed the League of Nations. However, the standards of justice, by not fulfilling it and by wanting to maintain their superiority, this failed. Then the Second World War also occurred. And over 70 million people died, they say. Now, this is the same state of the United Nations today. It was made because they wanted to establish peace, and it was made to support victims. It was made to make efforts to end warfare. However, there is not even a small amount of success in these objectives. Everyone is just worried about their personal benefits and interests. Now, the war that will occur as a result of this injustice, we cannot even imagine the consequences and impact of it. A normal person cannot imagine it. The major powers are aware of how much widespread destruction and catastrophe could be caused. Yet, despite this, they do not give attention to establishing justice. And they are not even prepared to establish fairness and justice. In such circumstances, in such a state of affairs, at least the Muslim countries should play their roles. They should remove their differences and disunity and instead establish their own unity. If this guidance was given to the people of the book, that come to a word that is united between us and you, that God is one, that we agree on, then Muslims whose actual declaration of faith and creed is one. Why cannot the Muslims unite together when they all have the same creed? Therefore, we should think, and we should unite together in one. And this alone is the way to remove the disorder and strife prevalent in the world and to establish the standards of justice. The rights of the victims in order to establish everywhere. Then raise your voice loud as united one front. When you unite, when you are one, then your united voice will be stronger. It will have more power and might in it. Otherwise, the lives of the innocent Muslims, those Muslim governments will be responsible for the lives of the innocent people. The Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, always keep this guidance in view. And this is the work of these powers that help both the oppressor and the oppressed. So understand this important guidance. May Allah the Almighty, to the Muslims, governments, grant them wisdom and understanding. May they unite together and dispense justice. And may the powers of the world, the major powers, also gain understanding that instead of throwing the world into destruction, they should try and save the world from catastrophe. And they should not make their purpose stroking the egos. Instead, they should always remember and recall that when there is destruction today and catastrophe, even these powers will not remain safe and safeguarded. Anyhow, we have the weapon of prayer. Every Ahmadi should benefit from this. Some Ahmadi households are also in suffering. May Allah protect them as well. And all victims, all the ones who are inflicted with cruelty, may Allah protect them and safeguard them everywhere. May Allah give wisdom and understanding to Hamas. May they not become responsible for perpetrating cruelty upon their own people and upon others, according to the teachings of Islam. May they act upon guidance. If they have to fight and battle, it should be according to the Islamic teachings. The enmity of any nation should not incite you to acting otherwise than with justice. This is the command of Allah. May Allah the Almighty, to the major powers, enable them that they should establish standards of justice on both sides. May they establish peace. May they not, on one side, usurp the rights of one people, and on the other side, give the rights to those people. May they not escalate in cruelties and injustices. May Allah enable for us to be able to witness peace and security in the world.